What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to another Warframe video. Today, we're going to be looking at the Arca Plasmor upgraded Tenet version, with the galvanized mods finally being fixed on it. So, they're not currently fixed on every weapon. Hopefully that fix comes through with the Plague Star update in a couple days. But yeah, we have the Tenet Arca Plasmor. I've made some changes, and we're actually going to be doing a nostalgia throwback build today as well. Because if you have been playing the game for a long time, you might remember way back when the Arca Plasmor was not, air quotes, nerfed compared to right now. He found a way to revert the nerf and kind of just give a cheeky little throwback to why the Arca Plasmor was nerfed in the first place. And as you can see in the gameplay footage right here, the Arca Plasmor Tenet version deletes. It absolutely deletes. And we've made some changes, so let's go over them. Before we get into it though, make sure you're subbed to the YouTube channel. Got nearly 600 Warframe YouTube videos on the channel, and there will be more and more as time goes on. Plague Star Guide coming out probably Thursday morning, and Nidus Prime video probably coming out Friday morning, so keep an eye out for those big hitters as well. Alright, so Tenet Arca Plasmor. What's so special about this thing? Well, it is a old favorite, the Arca Plasmor, but upgraded to come from the Kuva Lich. We've had a previous video of this on the channel, but that's back when the mods were not actually currently working properly. We've got some special mods that are really good at the Tenet Arca Plasmor, mainly the galvanized Savvy mod, I believe it's called, for shotguns, which is going to make it so each stat effect affecting the enemy is going to give you increased damage after you've killed a couple enemies. So, the Tenet Arca Plasmor's got base radiation. When you shoot an enemy with this thing, it also gives a guaranteed impact proc. So, we've actually gone, and the previous video was on the Magnetic Arca Plasmor, which is still really good. It will still technically give you more proc potential than the Toxin one, but we've gone with a Toxin roll today just to get really easy access to corrosive damage. And the reason we're going for corrosive damage is because the Acolytes on the Steel Path are weak to corrosive damage, and a lot of the Grineer enemies are weak to corrosive damage as well. Additionally, if you're fighting against the Corpus, the base Toxin lets you easily mod for Radiation Toxin, a very good combination of elements to take down the Corpus troops, because, Toxin bypasses their shields, and it will also, the Radiation's good against the robots. And it's just great against the Corpus, honestly. So, the build right here. So here's the reason it's a nostalgia throwback build, and it's kind of funny how it's like reverting the nerf. Did you know that the Arca Plasmor does not have a increased headshot multiplier? Back in the day, this is right around when a normal Harrow got released. Keep in mind, Harrow Prime is probably slated to come out winter of this year or fall of this year. Way back when the Arca Plasmor came out, and Harrow had been recently released as well. The Arca Plasmor had a headshot multiplier back then. DE decided to remove the increased headshot multiplier from the Arca Plasmor because they thought that Harrow's third ability and his fourth ability combined together was too crazy with the Arca Plasmor. Because it was crazy, but now we have the new primary Deadhead Arcane, which gives you increased headshot multiplier with a maxed out Arcane version of this. So, plus 30% headshot multiplier. The Arca Plasmor does not have a headshot multiplier, but this will give it a headshot multiplier, letting you kind of reverse the nerf. Keep in mind, the normal headshot multiplier is over plus 30%, so it's not exactly max damage headshots compared to way back in the day, but with Harrow and this, you can look at all the energy. I mean, look at it. It's a lot. It's honestly a lot. You could probably get as much energy as that using like the Kuva Czar and stuff like that, but since you could aim this at the head level of the enemies, you're getting mega energy restore. This is the same Harrow build I showed from my Invigorated Harrow from a couple weeks ago. But keep in mind, the Invigoration has worn off. This is just normal stuff. What you see in this gameplay footage, you can do with no Riven, no Helmet Invigoration, nothing special. I mean, we have a normal Helmet Pillage on here, but honestly, you can still use Harrow's first ability, not Helmet Subsumed off, and it will accomplish a very similar goal. If not, make headshots even easier because enemies will be stunned, waiting for you to shoot them in the face. Alright, so let's go over the build here, and we'll explain some changes and choices you could make if you want to replicate this, because it deletes. It really is deleting. You've got a clip right here. You can one-shot Acolytes without even using Harrow's 4. Let's see how many shots this Acolyte takes. Now, it's not going to always one-shot the Acolyte, to be honest. I think it should take like 2 or 3 shots. Oh, the Acolyte spawned behind me. He was being pretty crafty, to be honest. So, whoa, look, did you see that juke? That was a godly juke. So we'll show the one-shotting Acolyte clip. Oh, he one-shot me. Would you look at that? All right, so I'm just going to quickly show this clip from earlier today where the Acolyte did not even stand a chance. So kind of potato quality as a stream replay. But, you know, if you use pillars to remove enemy armor, if you use the Arca Plasmor corrosive build, maybe even some specific mods, Acolyte is not going to stand a chance with this very high base damage weapon getting a headshot multiplier it didn't have in the first place. So the Acolyte's, yo, I'm going to come take your Steel Essence, like the Acolyte that killed me in that gameplay footage. But it's not going to work out for Valkyrie, unfortunately. I even jump off the cliff on accident and lose my buffs. I'm like, oh man, I'm not going to one-shot it now. Unfortunately for the Acolyte, I don't even need the crit buffs from Harrow. I'm still invincible currently, and it's gone. So, one shot with no Riven. No Riven. I died again. So here's the thing about if you're playing Harrow. You have to keep lots of abilities. Like, you're juggling a lot of abilities. It can be pretty annoying, but keep in mind we're utilizing Rolling Guard and Vazarin to get lots of invincibility time. So here's the build. Now this is... if I was using Harrow all the time, I definitely would change some things up. Like maybe even take off the crit chance mod. But what we've got here, we've got Galvanized Savvies. Like I said, now this actually works in the Arca Plasmor. It's pretty good. And the reason we're going with Toxin for Corrosive is that we have like Toxin built in, and then we've got Primed Charge Shell for the shotguns. Toxin plus Electric makes Corrosive, good against Acolytes, good against Grineer. So that's a big chunk of damage right there. We've also got Prime Shielding Grasp. If you were to run a viral build, we have a big chunk of viral damage there as well. Although I think a 60-60 mod also has some value in addition. But we've got plenty of status chance. Now keep in mind, Hunter Munitions is not usually utilized with a corrosive build, but a lot of times running a Panzerwolf Profile, the enemies will have viral procs them anyway. And if for some reason they're not dead from the big chunk of damage we blast out at them, the slash proc will take care of them as well. Because you can get big slash procs of this thing. Galvanized Hell, increased multi-shot on kill. Keep in mind, we're using all three of the galvanized mods for shotguns. That's when you know a shotgun will probably be really good if it can properly utilize all three of the galvanized mods. And spoiler, a lot of them actually can do that. We've got Prime Fair Shell, like I said, and giving us corrosive damage. Prime Ravage, not even maxed out, and it's one-shotting enemies like crazy. Millions and millions of damage. Pretty good. And especially since we're running Harrow with the Nostalgia loadout here, it can give you like big red crit damage. Now this is the flex slot right here. Of course, we got the Bane mod. If you don't like Bane mods, just put Prime Point Blank in there. It's fine, I guess. This is the flex slot. So I've got Vigilante Fervor in here, give you increased fire rate. Since we're running Critical Deceleration, this will give you a reduced fire rate. So it's balancing it out a little bit. Also giving you the Vigilante bonus to give you increased crits when you hit stuff. And I mean, we got 66% here. If you're running Avenger, it's over 100%. If you're running Harrow, it's going to be about 300% crit chance on headshots. So basically guaranteed red crits, almost elevated red crits. Because if you get above red crit chance, it just gives you even more damage. So this is the flex slot. Now, as far as other mods you can run in this slot, keep in mind that there is this mod called Shrapnel Shot, which will give you increased crit damage while aiming for 9 seconds on kill. But that's going to require you to be aiming down sights, and I don't really like to aim down sights that much. It's a very mobile game. I find aiming down sights a little bit tedious. But there's other mods too. Now, with the Tenet Arca Plasmor, if you want to get corrosive heat, you actually need to use a lot of mod slots to get that. So I wouldn't recommend running for a corrosive heat, but if you want to eke it out, you could probably take off Hunter Munitions, maybe put Blaze in that slot, and then put another elemental mod here to get your corrosive Hunter Munitions. I would not really recommend that though, guys, because it's a lot of mod slots just to get like some heat, which some people might like, but not everyone's gonna like that. So as far as the rest of the stuff, I mean, a Riven could technically help you out, but keep in mind the Rivens for the Arca Plasmor at the recording of this video are the Tenet Arca Plasmor are very low stats. So we're looking at 50% crit chance, 58% crit, or 50% crit damage, 58% crit chance, and plus recoil. Those are really pitiful. Honestly, not even slottable right now. Look at Critical Deceleration, giving you a lot more crit chance than this Riven with 2 stats and a negative. Technically the highest stats you can get. And then a stable mod for the Arca Plasmor Tenet version, Galvanized Acceleration. On kill, increased projectile travel time and all that. This lets you get bank shots like crazy with the Arca Plasmor because it actually has bouncing shots, which can do some hilarious stuff. Killing enemies around corners, killing enemies you didn't even know were there. Things of that nature. So, and Primary Deadhead, like I said, gives you a headshot multiplier, the entire basis of this build. And as far as Harrow, it's a previous video, very similar to that, but Combat Discipline and Arcane Avenger giving us increased crit chance, letting us get Avenger to proc without even taking damage, because we're going to heal ourselves. Harrow's 2 gives you healing and lifesteal. Harrow's 4 gives you increased crit chance. Can be really nice for, getting those red crits with the Arca Plasmor. And Harrow's 3 giving you increased, or it actually just gives you ridiculous energy on headshots. And Arca Plasmor AoE clears everything, so it's pretty easy to do. Pillage for reducing enemy armor and just giving us shields back. You need lots of shields with Harrow, constantly getting replenished. And Vigilante Vigor is just, we had nothing we could fit in that slot, so just increase Vigilante bonus. All right, enough talking. Oh, there's one more quick thing. Vazarin Focus School. Now that they're potentially nerfing the Decaying Dragon Key shield getting cheese, you might want to unlock Vazarin and get the Protective Dash node, just get invincible permanently, basically. All right, unless you're playing Harrow, just constantly casting abilities because it's annoying. We're going to unpause the enemies. Keep in mind these guys have literally no chance at all as we are... Well, I'm going to take invincibility off. As we have many invincibility sources, and we're playing frickin' Harrow, dude, okay? Like, I'm just going to one-shot them first off. Keep in mind this with no Riven. Use that Rolling Guard. Use that Vazarin so you're invincible. And you could easily was that a 74 mil? That might be one of the biggest numbers I've seen so far. So, yeah, pretty juicy. Remember, this is anyone can do this. And my force right now, I can recast it, invincible again. So the amount of invincibility you have with this loadout is actually kind of hilarious. Once this runs out, we can Rolling Guard. As long as the cooldown's up, we're invincible again. The Panzer Viral proc everything, and the silence. It's silent because everything is dead, honestly. So, yeah. In the game of footage, I died a couple times because, you know, I was looking at chat. I've got plenty of excuses, trust me. And Harrow does cast a lot of abilities. You have to keep them all up. You want to make sure you have your 3 up so you can constantly be, you know, getting your energy back to recast your abilities and stuff like that. And since the Arca Plasmor has such high base damage, look at how easily we can proc Primary Deadhead. The focus of this build is not slash procs at all. It's the obscenely high base damage of the Tenet Arca Plasmor. There's the bank shot hitting that Butcher that was like, I wasn't even aiming at really. So it's really fun. As far as weapon grades for this thing, I'd have to redo them right now. But honestly, I'm going to go with, now that the Galvanized mod has been fixed, I'm going to go with S tier mob clearing. Really, really insane. One of the best mob clearers in the game. Acolyte kill speed, I mean, it could be S. It could be S if you get that easy one-shot, but as you see in the gameplay footage, sometimes it doesn't happen like that. And, you know, overall, I'd say it's A to S tier weapon. One of the best weapons in the game, and the nostalgia factor of it is also there, as someone that has always liked the Arca Plasmor. Now that the Galvanized mod's fixed, it feels really strong. The crit chance is there, even without Harrow. You can still get orange crits. You're not going to be getting these kind of red crits, to be honest, consistently, but that's why it's a nostalgia build based around Harrow. And I do recommend everyone go and pick it up. The magnetic one's still good. The previous video was theory crafting a little bit. Like I said, we couldn't find a way to fit all the elements we wanted to on the Arca Plasmor build from the magnetic build, so I ended up changing the element there. And I kind of want to still have a magnetic one sitting around, so if I'm ever really bored one day, I'll get a second Arca Plasmor, but I wanted to rock the Toxin one for now. I do think it is one of the best choices, but you know, eventually we'll probably get the magnetic one back. All right, guys. Hopefully you found this video helpful. It's a really fun build. Like I said, lots of ability casts, kind of annoying to keep going, but it is very rewarding as you're clearing out enemy hordes very easily. And like I said, this will still work on the Corpus too. You're not going to really want to run a corrosive build against the Corpus. Just do like basically no elemental mod, just magnetic or radiation toxin. Don't even need to bother with magnetic. You technically could if you wanted to. But yeah, really fun stuff. I'll see you guys next time. Plenty of videos coming out this week, and I'll see you on the flip side. Peace.